March 28th, 3:02 p.m., Detention Center, Visitors Room. You withheld information from me. Why?
I didn't withhold anything. Or at least, I didn't mean to.
Okay, so you are a member of the Berry Big Circus, right?
No, I mean, yes, but no. Not really a member. I'm still new.
That's irrelevant. You're still a member. Great, he fainted.
Let's try this again. Why didn't you tell us?
Because it would have looked so suspicious. Me being a performer in the circus show, and me being friends with Bronco. I thought that if anyone found out, nobody would believe I was innocent. Not even you, Kay.
I thought I'd made it clear that I believed in you.
But when you stare at me like that, I get so terrified.
You're a real smooth operator, aren't you, Miles? Any other client-scaring tips you want to share? You're really not helping, Fender. And at this rate, it sounds like we really will need to question him about everything all over again.
So what do you do at the circus, Simeon?
I'm an animal tamer. Kind of. I'm still learning the ropes.
That's so cool. Do you get to train lions and tigers and bears and stuff?
Lions? Tigers? Bears? Oh my. No. I work with this little guy.
Looks pretty tame already to me.
So you're not exactly a tamer. More like one of those old-timey organ grinders? Not now, money. Trying to... you scamp!
Something tells me it's the organ grinder who's being monkeyed around. When we spoke to you before, you said you worked at a company.
I was telling the truth. The circus really is a company. We all have titles and everything. Ringmaster's the CEO, and I'm, I guess you'd call me a gopher? I even have a line manager. She's head of the animal taming department. It's part of the showbiz division. She's such an inspiration. There isn't a creature in the world she couldn't convince to do her bidding.
Even Miles here? I'd like to see somebody whip him into shape. I am not some kind of creature, Fender. So, this line manager, was she working with you on the show?
Yes, it was just us two. It wasn't all that big of a job compared to what we normally do. She's usually the one performing on stage. I just do all the monkey work. But I did have a bit part this time.
So only 2 members of the circus are relevant to this case. Alright, talk me through your movements here at the facility.
Sure, I came to see Bronco at around noon 2 days ago.
And that was when you brought him the chess set?
Yes, and that same evening I started work on setting up the stage in the yard. It was so hard. I had to haul everything in by myself over multiple trips. They let us use one of the rooms in the prison for storage. Workshop A, I think.
Workshop A, where Knight's body was found.
You mean your boss didn't help you?
Oh no, I could never ask her to schlep all that stuff around. Like I said, the monkey work's my job. Once it was all set up, we did a run-through and it must have been, midnight by the time I left. The next morning I was back and ready for the show, which started at 8 a.m. Then we performed till 10?
So Mr. Saint was the only one of the pair to have entered the room where the body was found. And Knight's body was found immediately after the show had ended. Do you have any idea why you were arrested?
And why so quickly? I've never seen a guy get booked so fast. Surely even Little Winter wouldn't just pull somebody in on a hunch.
Never underestimate the power of an underdeveloped intellect.
I might know why. When I was moving all the stuff, I went to go to see how he was doing. Bronco, I mean.
You went to the holding cells on your own? Tell me you had permission.
No, it wasn't a formal visit or anything. So I just sort of snuck over and hoped no one stopped me.
But you just seen him earlier that same day. Why take the risk?
I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. I knew he'd be feeling lonely, that he wants somebody to talk to, so I had to go see him.
You don't have any family?
For a while I had my dad, but he passed away when I was a little kid.
Losing one's father as a child. I know that pain all too well.
He's just like you and me, Mr. Edgeworth.
There was nobody else nearby when you went to see him?
No, the other holding cells were empty and I didn't see any guards.
Well, somebody must have seen you, or you wouldn't be in there.
Oh no, I messed up so bad, didn't I?
So the assumption is that something happened while the two were alone together? At least, I imagine that would be winner in Judge Gabel's thinking.
In any case, I think we'll need to speak to your boss next. Last I heard, she's supposed to be around today too, somewhere in the yard. Tell her I'm sorry, won't you? I'm so sorry. I can't believe I let this happen.
Sure thing, Simeon. We're here for you. If there's anything else we can do, just say the word.
But, I mean, that is, there's nothing I can do for you in return.
You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Unfortunately, so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. Rest assured, we believe you, and we will get you out of here. Well, what do we have here? A gosh darn defense attorney, that's what. Bravo, big guy.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but you even reminded me of your old man for a moment there.
I did? From the Book of Gregory, an attorney is a friend of the friendless. Simeon, me, Bucko, this guy will suffer any hardship for your friendship. Things are gonna be simply amazing. I didn't realize Talk Like a Pirate Day had come early this year, Fender.
But that's just the thing. You never know when a pirate will strike next. Anyway, kid, you want some candy? No thanks. I don't like sweet stuff.
Oh, huh? Bummer.
I wouldn't mind a nice ship myself. A great thief's galleon for the dread pirate K. Yaha, me hearties! We'll sail the seven seas together and claim the greatest treasure of all, the truth.
Shiver me timbers. You two will be the death of me. Come on, let's set sail for the prison yard. But no sea shanties on the way, please.
Look, the shutter's open.
That's the way out to the yard, I believe.
Let's go take a look. Come on, what are you waiting for?
Someone's excited. March 28th, 3:37 p.m., prison yard. So this is the famous yard. The circus performance was taking place here just before the body was discovered.
Check it out. It's like the backdrop of some epic festival.
Most of the prisoners were assembled here when the body was discovered, which means that anyone who saw the show has an alibi. All right, time to take a look around.
Eee!
Hey!
Stop hitting me! Help, Mr. Edgeworth!
Cease and desist, you beast!
Ah! Somebody, ouch! Help! Ow! Me! Stay, Azia! Stay! Who's that? Aw, you found a new friend to play with. Good for you, girl. Play with? Your elephant nearly ate me. No way. She'd never do a thing like that. Azea doesn't even bite. At least, not very often.
So she does have a taste for human flesh.
How did you like meeting a real live elephant up close? Aren't you glad you did? Yeah, glad I didn't die. But you did have fun, right? Right?
There, sweetie. Don't cry. She had a wonderful time. Didn't you, Kay?
Don't mislead the poor girl, Fender.
She did? Oh, I'm so happy!
Here, let me make it up to you. How about a hug?
Keep your trunk to yourself.
Aw, another new friend. Isn't this just the best day ever?
I am Associate Defense Attorney Miles Edgeworth.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Regina. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Kay, Great Thief Extraordinaire and Mr. Associate Defense Attorney's Great Associate.
This self-introduction brought to you by the word convoluted.
And your elephant's newest friend is Mr. Fender, the defense attorney. Oh, she's not just any elephant. That's Isaiah, the Asian elephant. Isaiah stopped the second you told her to. We really have a way with animals, Regina. Well, I wouldn't be much of an animal tamer if I didn't. What? So you're Simeon's boss? That's right. Regina Berry, head of the animal taming department, showbiz division, Berry Big Circus. It's so lovely to meet all of you.
The pleasure's all ours, mademoiselle. Name's Eddie Fender. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. So much for whipping me into shape.
Yes, she's perfect.
What are you muttering yourself about, Kay?
That positivity, that charisma, that energy. Regina, you make a perfect partner in crime for the Great Thief Yadagarasu. Great Thief? That sounds like fun. My animals and I have stolen the spotlight quite a bit in our time. That's the one thing we don't want to steal. Gotta keep it on the down low, all stealthy ninja-like. Where's the fun without a show? The down low sounds like it might get me down. Bummer. I think we've got a fundamental difference of opinion going on here.
It would indeed appear that negotiations have broken down. Maybe next time, Kay.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get cracking. Too bad we can't see much of what's beyond that metal fence, though.
Indeed, and we're in sore need of information in addition to evidence. Therefore, we should make an effort to talk with any persons of interest as well. If you're the head of the animal taming department, you must be Mr. Saint's boss.
That's right. My dad founded the Berry Big Circus, but he passed away. He was murdered. I'm sorry to hear that, but we have a new ringmaster now, and he's made the circus bigger and better than ever. He's such a nice man, and he was a good friend of my dad's, too. Wow, that's great. Lucky you. I know, right? It was his idea to set up departments like animal taming, magic, and ventriloquy. Only animal taming and ventriloquy have more than one person right now. But the Berry Big Circus is getting bigger and better day by day. Sounds like you guys are really going places.
They're getting on well. I'll leave them to it. Can you tell me about the show?
Oh, it's a wonderful thing. It even has a story. And not just any story. It's a love story. Isn't that dreamy?
Sounds like a regular riot. So who's the star of the show? Let me guess. You?
No, silly. That would be Isaiah. And she falls in love with none other than Regent the Tiger. It's a heart-rending saga of forbidden interspecies romance.
Whoa, Nelly! I've heard of odd couples, but that takes the biscuit.
That's not all. There's a love triangle, too. It's so romantic. That sounds pretty incredible, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
So the elephant is the heroine. I suppose there's a first time for everything. And, who's the third wheel?
Oh, that would be the big old meanie who tries to tear our star-crossed lovers apart. Ooh, what animal do you think it is, Mr. Edgeworth?
Given that it's a circus, perhaps a lion?
I think a raven would be cool, like the Yadagarasu. Nope, it's a sneaky monkey.
That's certainly lowered the stakes.
Oh, you mean money, right? Nope, again, the role of the monkey is played by Simeon. Money's far too small to play against Isaiah and Regent, silly. Anyway, the evil villain tries to tear Isaiah and Regent apart. What will become of the fated twosome? It's so exciting, isn't it? Wow, it sure is.
So, Mr. Saint was more than just the little helper he claims to be.
Poor Simeon. It'd be terrible if he couldn't perform with us anymore.
Can you tell me about how you set things up for the performance?
Oh, that's not really my area. Simeon took care of all the lifting and carrying. He's such a sweetie. He offered to do everything by telling me to concentrate on the show. I did see him doing something near that well, though.
A well? I recall seeing one behind the stage. I should examine it in more detail.
You should have seen him moving those huge cages around all by himself. He's a total hero. Yeah. Sounds like something he would do.
Weeping all the while.
He was going back and forth between the yard here and some sort of workshop with all the equipment. The prison gave us special permission to use it for storage. But he was the only one who went down there, so I don't know much more than that.
The workshop must be the one where Knight's body was found. I guess this confirms that Mr. Saint was the only performer to have gone into Workshop A.
Well, this sucks. All we're getting is information that works against us. You have to help Simeon, Mr. Attorney. We're all counting on you. Just leave it to us. He may not look it, but Mr. Edgeworth knows how to get things done.
And what exactly is "he may not look it" supposed to mean? Well, there's not really much. Let's just check out with him.
Ah, Mr. Attorney, sir. And how are you today, if you don't mind me asking?
Today? We just talked to you earlier, Mr. Stott.
Oh heavens, I do apologize. Ever since I came to call this place home, I've been working on my interpersonal skills, you see. In order to be as annoying as possible. I'm currently helping out with the circus show stage teardown and cleanup. But if you have need of me, I'll do my utmost to help. I'm just chipping in and doing what I can, model prisoner that I am. Yes, my stay in this prison has seen me reborn. The Frank saw it you see before you as a changed man.
A changed man who now targets the recently deceased?
No! You misunderstand! That was just a moment of madness!
A moment of madness? Ugh, you're a disgrace to all thieves everywhere.
You're right, of course. I can't deny it.
I still have a long way to go.
As a thief?
Anyway, as you can see, I have a shiny new bracelet now. So it's the straight and narrow for me. Like I said, I'm a model prisoner.
Not that a real moral prisoner would need to keep telling me that.
I'm doing everything I can to prepare for my eventual return to society.
Yeah, you even skipped the show to focus on your training, didn't you?
That's right. Only 2 inmates were absent, Saint and Kanis. Why didn't you tell us about Mr. Kanis sooner?
Ah, that. Look, I don't think there's an inmate in this prison who'd talk about him if they didn't have to. Well, you could say he's the real one in charge around here. You didn't hear it from me, but, well, I guess it comes with being the fixer.
The fixer?
Yes, anything you need, he can get it for you.
But how does he get away with it?
I'm not sure, but he's the only one who does. I heard he has a secret way of getting things into the facility. I imagine being the fixer affords Kanis certain privileges. Not that I concern myself with such things anymore, of course. I'm far more interested in perfecting my mud pack application technique. And what are these mud packs exactly? They're a special type of mud treatment, rich with minerals. It works wonders on their coats. I've been practicing on the animals here in the prison. I hope to treat them all eventually. Speaking of mud, that reminds me of a certain piece of evidence. Maybe I should try presenting it to him.
You know what? You're right. This thing.
That's the rubber glove I dropped. Would you care to explain why it's so dirty? Oh, of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened.
I see. Around what time would this have been?
Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 a.m. perhaps. The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance ones enter when one slathers an animal with thick black mud. I think the stress of prison might be getting to it.
I agree.
Of course, it's all thanks to the warden and we have access to such wonderful distractions. I'm eternally grateful. Truly I am.
You're right. Man, what a pain that turned out to be. We already did here. Now him. What's up? Who doesn't love a good circus performance, eh? A foray into the realm of fantasy? If the performance is a good one, it can certainly be entertaining, yes. Man, I'm getting pumped just thinking about it. Chance to escape reality, however brief, can often be a powerful tonic. You got that right. Doesn't it just make you want to hug something? Like the circus? Holding a show here, right in the shadow of the fence that keep these guys in. Guess the magic of the big top's enough to make them forget that they're in the same boat as the animals. The fence. I suppose I should examine it too. It is a part of this facility, after all. Well, we missed the show, but we still got the stage and all this other stuff to check out. He's right. I should also look over the show set and equipment, just in case something useful turns up. Chat over, huh? Don't exactly give a guy a lot of work with, Miles. Kid's really something, huh? Wish I still had a tenth of her starry-eyed outlook. I suppose that's because her head seems to be up in the clouds, right? She's so above it all that no one dares to go against her. Bet she doesn't even need to crack the whip with the animals. The eyes go from starry to steely and suddenly it's sick. Stay. I can think of somebody who very much enjoys cracking the whip. You can, huh? Sounds like a real piece of work. Come on, Mauserino, spill the beans. Trust me, Fender. One crack of her whip and you'll be running for the courthouse doors. Yeah, Francisca!
Danger. Danger. High voltage. I never saw one of these in real life. Hey, that must be the fabulous garden outside the warden's office over there.
Ah, yes. Warden Lagarde mentioned being able to see it from her window on the detention center side.
Wish this dumb bark metal fence wasn't in the way, though. I thought it was all one big yard.
Given how protective the warden seemed of her little bit of earth, I imagine it's to keep riffraff like us out.
There you are. Regina Cupcake. Oh, Warden Lagarde. I've been simply dying to sit you down for a chat, you exquisite little thing.
Indeed.
Hey!
What are you shouting at?
Ponds like this usually have goldfish in them, right? I wanted to see if they'd come say hello.
I only see water striders.
Hey, water striders are cool. They can walk on water like ninjas. Whoosh, whoosh. Man, I wish I could do that.
So much for the goldfish. This must be the stage for the show.
Do you think people would be interested in a great thieving show?
I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend. A simple, sturdily built well. I wonder if it was the work of the prisoners.
Somebody's left a bunch of tools lying around. There's a long piece of rope and a pretty heavy-looking weight. Let's see, it weighs 30 pounds. Oh, and there are some pulleys, too.
Okay, can you stop touching everything in sight?
Oh, come on! It's not like I was gonna take anything.
What exactly were they being used for, I wonder? That's what I hope to find out. Do you mind if I ask a little about the prison?
Oh, not at all. This place is my pride and joy. My home.
Sure, it was a prison when
I first arrived. And it was awful. An utter disgrace.
Awful? I suppose you mean the prisoners were unruly?
I most certainly do not. They're angels, every one of them, and they always have been. No, it was the ambience that was awful. I fretted, I brooded, and then it hit me. The animals. If anyone could brighten up the place, it was them. It is nice having them around. Isn't it just? And now look at my fabulous little family. Why, my darling Frankie is the very picture of rehabilitation.
Except when he's rifling through dead men's pockets.
We have so many success stories among the family, but darling Frankie really is a marvel. He's thrown himself into his vocational training and is always the first to volunteer for everything. What? And your other model prisoners don't do that? Oh, of course they do, my dear. Of course. They're all such triers, such doers. It's just that Frankie, let's just say he knows what's good for him.
What exactly does she mean by that?
Anyway, he's a very good boy, so do try to be nice to him, won't you?
I would, but I could care no less.
Loud, soaring music, great leaping animals, the Berry Big Circus truly has it all. And everybody who comes here gets to see it once a month.
Really? In that case, let me see.
She'd better not be thinking of something to confess to. This monthly show isn't always performed by the Berry Big Circus.
But of course, sweetie, I'm Regina's biggest fan. That girl's my little princess, my superstar. She's so wonderfully talented. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she's so adorable, so sweet. I could just gobble her right up. You're not lying when you say you're her biggest fan, huh? Which is why I'm worried about her. So worried. It's all because of poor Simeon, you see. If he's found guilty, why, darling Regina would be devastated. So you simply must make sure that doesn't happen, Mr. Lawyer. Please, I'm begging you. If there's anything I can do to help you clear up this awful misunderstanding, you let me know. Regina, darling, you put on the most splendid show for us yet again. The stage, the stars, and you in particular, my princess. It was simply divine. That's so nice of you. I hope everybody else who watched enjoyed it too. About that, dear, I'm afraid I have something awful to confess. There were some absences, you see.
She must mean Kanis and Saint.
We were 3 members short. Unbelievable, I know. How will you ever forgive me?
I'm sorry, but you're saying 3 inmates didn't attend the show?
That's right, sweetie. I counted the seats myself. 1, 2, 3 no-shows, and I always make sure there are enough seats for everybody.
But Mr. Edgeworth, that's not right, is it?
Indeed. As far as we were aware, Mr. Kanis and Mr. Saint were the only ones not present. This doesn't add up. Who is the 3rd missing prisoner and what were they doing? It seems we need to investigate further.
Oh, I was enjoying my chat with dear Regina so much, I almost forgot. I must feed the little one.
Little one?
Yikes! Alligator!
You're looking as adorable as always, Allie, my sweet.
Aw, she's so pretty. And what a cute name.
Yes, Ally the alligator. Isn't she a darling? She's my favorite, aren't you? Yes, you are.
I'm so jealous. Can I pet her?
Of course, princess, of course.
Boy, howdy! These two are made for one another. They look like they'll be busy for a while.
Maybe we should go back inside the prison and check the cells.
Yes, let's. Perhaps we can find a clue there as to who our 3rd missing prisoner might be. March 28th, 4:02 p.m. Prison. Corridor. Sir! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Phew, I finally caught up with you. Detective, you're not needed elsewhere? No, the judge and the kid aren't here yet. Oh, and I got your message. So you searched the victim's cell. Did you manage to turn anything up? We struck gold, sir. Well, blood anyway. It was right there on the floor. Only in tiny specks though, but at least it's something.
Yeah, it proves that the holding cell was the scene of the crime, right?
Not quite. It proves a possibility, but it's not conclusive yet. I thought you'd say that, sir, which is why I ordered some follow-up work. I asked forensics to analyze the blood and see if it matches the victims. They're on it as we speak.
Nice work, Gummy. You thought of everything.
Detective, I must say I'm impressed. Did you hit your head or something? Gee, don't look so surprised, sir. I just hope things continue to go in our favor. Yep. Alrighty, so that's proof of the murder happened in the detention center. And for our next trick,
we'll find out how that dog got over there.
Don't worry, you can leave that one to me. Until the kid and his chaperone get here, we've got the whole prison to ourselves. Which is why I brought my secret weapons along.
Secret weapons?
That's right, a few tools in the trade that helped me bust more than a few cases wide open. Behold, the 7 secret weapons of Dick Gumshoe, ace detective extraordinaire. Well, I don't know about you crazy cats, but I'm sold, Miles. Very well, detective. We'll try using your secret weapons. You got it, sir. Let me run you through the list. Secret weapon number 1, my trusty old metal detector. If it's made of steel, silver, or scrap, this little guy right here will find it. So, it detects metal. Very good, detective. Next up, secret weapon number 2, Missile, everyone's favorite crime-fighting canine. He can track pretty much any scent you put in front of him, especially food.
He sure is a lot cuter than Mr. Kanis' dog.
And now for secret weapon number 3. Where'd I put it? Aha! Am I one snapper short of a school, or is that a fishing rod? Don't tell me we're going fishing for clues. No, I just happen to have it with me is all. I see. Well, onwards and upwards, detective. Let's see what else you have. That's all she wrote, sir.
Gummy! You're 4 secret weapons short of your so-called 7, and one of them was a fishing rod!
Sorry, but that's all for today, okay? I'll show you the next time. Why do you think I call them secret? I can't just go sharing everything at once. That's crazy. In that case, then I suppose the 3 you've deigned to reveal to us will have to do for now. All right. Which one do you want to try, sir? Missile. You got it, sir. Hey, Missile. Here, boy.
Oh, he really came.
So what are we tracking? We're trying to find out how Mr. Kanis' dog got to the holding cells in the first place. I suspect the same route was used to bring Knight's body back to the prison. So we give the pooch a sniff of the body.
And he'll find that route for us.
Does anyone else smell something sweet? All I smell is the odor of blood. It's faint, sir, but it's there. Almost like cake, maybe. Why would the body smell of cake? Okay, Missile, get a nose for it. Here we go! Follow that dog! That's the way to. He's headed for maximum security!
Uh-oh, he's going in!
Then we'll just have to follow after him. March 28th, 4:24 p.m. Prison, maximum security. This is Kanis' cell, although the man himself is absent, it seems. Is he meeting with someone in the visitor's room?
Do you think Missile's onto something?
Shh, looks like maybe he is. Is there something here?
Let's get snooping, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, like what? Well, let's check everything then. Mr. Kanis' chess set, complete with his special dog piece.
That's not a chess set. That's a whole chess table with legs. Looks like it might be worth something, too.
It's not inconceivable. Some of them are. But this is quite a nice one.
I never would have pegged Mr. Kanis as a chess fan, though. Or with the whole Eastern aesthetic he's got going. I thought he'd be more into Go.
Go, huh? Can you play?
I can play Go Fish.
Not the same thing, Kay. Not even close. Tea and rice crackers. Mr. Kanis clearly doesn't lack for comforts.
I can think of worse ways to spend my time in jail than drinking tea and playing chess. I thought this was maximum security, not maximum comfort. How come nobody else gets the special treatment?
Complaining to me isn't going to help. Perhaps you could take it up with the man himself?
Yikes! No thanks. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, that chisel on the floor is a bit smaller than the others.
I'm no woodworker, but perhaps there's an all-purpose one that can be used in a pinch, regardless of the job.
An all-purpose pocket chisel. Makes sense. Always nice when your tools are useful and easy to carry.
Is that your opinion as a thief?
Nope. It's my opinion as a great thief.
I walked into that one. Mr. Kanis' chisels. Every one a potential murder weapon.
That reminds me of something. The furrows in your brow. When you frown, it looks like somebody took a chisel to your forehead.
I have no idea what you mean.
See? They're so deep. Don't tell me you don't see it, Mr. Wood-carving face.
Have you quite finished? What's the matter, boy? Wait, is this cake what you were after? Whoa! Down, boy! Stop that! No! You can't have it! Dogs can't eat chocolate! You know that! If you won't behave, I'll just have to eat it myself! Not bad. That's some real outside the chocolate box thinking there. Not sure everybody agrees, though.
Gummy! I wanted some!
Daring of you both to assume the food in a prison is safe to eat. Well, daring or dumb. So anyway, it looks like it really was cake Missile was tracking. Talk about a waste of time. I suppose we got our just desserts. But the little guy's definitely capable, right? Sure he is. That was just a blip. He'll follow the right scent this time, I promise. Sink, boy! Oh, I think he's onto something. Whatever it is, it's in there. Mr. Carcerado's cell. We need to take a look inside. Detective, call the guard. Yes, sir. Thank you, officer. Question before we begin. Is the prisoner, Mr. Carcerado, still in solitary? No, sir. He came back a little while ago, and he was here for the noon roll call. Guess he must be on work duty someplace. I see. Now, if you'll be so kind as to open his cell. Yes, sir. Well, let's begin on this.
No way! He has a poster of himself! And right next to it looks like he never lost the habit of making weight for a fight.
Once a boxer, always a boxer, I suppose. I see he also has quite the collection of supplements.
Muscle protein, hustle protein, soul-crushing protein. Yeah, that's a lot of protein.
Surely nobody trains like this for nothing. You're right.
So how many minutes do you think this timer is for, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, Mr. Carcerato's a boxer, so 3 minutes would be my assumption.
Same as the length of a round of boxing. Thanks for playing, but the correct answer is kind of maybe around 2 minutes. Why? Because there's a crack in it and a bit of the sand spilled out.
Why does it hurt so much when she's right? It says Teddy in extremely poor handwriting. So this tire belongs to the bear? I wouldn't have thought it, but Mr. Carcerado and his ursine partner seem really close.
Wow, this takes me back. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, did you have a swing like this as a kid?
Not that I can recall, no.
So, what did you do for fun when you were a kid?
Chess, golf, flute practice.
Did you have any friends?
Why would you even think to ask that? This punching bag has certainly seen...
What breed were you again, Missile? Sure it wasn't a boxer?
No way. No way indeed. Quickly, detective, move the sandbag aside. Yes, sir. A hole. Could this be? Whoa there! Wait! Missile!
I'm going in too!
Wait! Stop! Sir, I'll go get her! Oof, that's tight. Should have eaten that cake. He's gone! Well, I'm not going in there. Guess we'll just have to wait. Hello? Kay? Are you alright?
You're not gonna believe this, but we're in the detention center.
The detention center?
That hole? It's a tunnel that leads right into Mr. Knight's cell.
What? Don't go anywhere. I'm on my way. March 28th, 5:04 p.m., detention center, holding cell. K.
Hey there, Mr. Edgeworth. Guess you could say we made a breakthrough.
Quite. At least they came out unscathed, I think. Sir, the floorboards under the bed were torn up.
So that's how they did it. There's no doubt about it. This must be the route we've been looking for. The corridor connecting the detention center and the prison is locked down by heavy security doors. But with the help of this tunnel, it can be circumvented. It was a sweet scent that started this whole search. Could it be that the scent was in fact coming from Knight's body after all? Incidentally, Knight's body was covered in dirt that might have come from being dragged through this tunnel. Okay, what was it like down there?
Well, it was pitch black, so I couldn't see a whole lot. Luckily, my camera has a flash, so I took some pictures.
Let's see what you've captured. Look at that! Spoons, a fork. Guess these were for digging the tunnel. That aside, are those footprints? Paw prints, even. From a dog, perhaps? This is a vital piece of evidence. However, it begs something of a question. It does? Mr. Carcerado has certainly been making use of this tunnel. Which means... Detective, we need to find out where Mr. Carcerado is immediately. If my suspicions are correct... Huh? Ah, nuts! The guards were alerted and they began searching for Mr. Carcerado right away. But after a thorough investigation of both the prison and the detention center, he was nowhere to be found. March 28th, 5:34 p.m. Detention Center, Corridor.
Well, have the police been notified?
Yes, ma'am. We just finished liaising with them a moment ago. They set up a cordon around the entire facility.
Good. The first blemish on a prison's spotless reputation is always the ugliest.
It won't happen again, ma'am. A rather different Warden Lagarde of the one we've seen so far.
Mr. Edgeworth, was it? I really can't thank you enough for finding that tunnel, darling. Sadly, it may have been too little too late. It seems he might have already left the building.
I'd say that's unlikely, Warden. After all, there's a security gate at the exit of the detention center. You're not suggesting he simply walked through it.
What's to say there was only the one tunnel, sweetie?
I suppose that's true.
Well, whatever the case, there's no time to be standing around chit-chatting. Mr. Edgeworth, would you mind continuing with your investigation?
It would be my pleasure.
And you three can get back to your posts.
Yes, ma'am. Detective, the results of the blood test just came back from the lab. Thanks, pal. Let's see what they have to tell us about the blood found in Knight's cell.
What does it say, Mr. Edgeworth?
They've identified the blood, and it's Knight's. Nice job, everybody. Teamwork makes the dream work, huh? We've got Knight's blood in his holding cell, a tunnel a dog clearly went through, and security footage showing Knight being attacked by the dog in his cell. Case closed. We have all the evidence we need. Let's see what Mr. Kanis has to say for himself.
Kanis? Oh, darlings, are you sure? Do be careful around him, won't you? He's as well connected on the outside as he is in here.
I suppose he would have to be. How else will the so-called fixer stay in business?
The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know.
So that's what that was all about. He's still not talking, ma'am? Even with the evidence you borrowed from the precinct?
No, and I've tried so many times I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a blank report.
I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack. You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation. Is that correct?
Why, yes, sweetie. Everything related to Kanis is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've hauled the secretive scoundrel into my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say or how much evidence I present him with, he simply won't say a word.
A prison warden conducting interrogations herself. That's irregular, to say the least.
Let your guard down and he'll devour you whole. Be careful, darlings. You've been warned.
Ooh-wee. And there I thought things couldn't get any spicier. March 28th, 5:55 p.m. Prison. Maximum security. Judge Gavel, I didn't expect to find you here.
We have been conducting inquiries, which, given that we are in charge of the investigation, is hardly strange. What is strange is that you are still here, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave you a warning, did I not? I told you that your badge was at risk should our paths cross again. And yet, here you are.
I am sorry that you thought that I might be so easily discouraged, Your Honor. But I am not about to let the truth slip from my grasp, no matter what you or the committee might say. I am here to present a certain someone with evidence that you yourself should have uncovered.
You have more business with me, I take it, Mr. Edgeworth.
I do. I promised I would be back to prove that you were the killer, and here I am.
This should be amusing. Very well. Whenever you are ready.
Objection!
Not so fast! We have some troops of our own to share. First-rate deductions, in fact. Indeed, we are now more certain than ever that Simeon Saint was the murderer, and that only he could have moved Mr. Knight from his holding cell to the prison proper. We shall prove this to you beyond the shadow of a doubt. But first, a question. Are you quite determined to continue on this course, Mr. Edgeworth? Should you fail to rebut our deductions, there will be no going back. Your very career hangs in the balance.
You mean you'll take his badge if you don't like how this goes? That's intimidation!
Not at all. If anything, I am showing him mercy. This is not Mr. Edgeworth's case. It never was. And I am under no obligation to hear him out, if he is prepared to accept the potential ramifications of his actions. I will allow him one last chance. Well, are you truly willing to take the risk to put your beloved badge on the line? Mr. Edgeworth!
Sir!
I accept your terms. I am confident of my reasoning. And what's more, I am representing the firm of Edgeworth & Co., and I do not intend to besmirch its name. My duty will be done, and I will not be intimidated.
Very well. Let us see whether you are brave or simply reckless. By the power vested in me by the almighty goddess of justice, let this judgment commence. Eustace, if you will allow me.
Fine by me. He's all yours, Gavel.
Argument. How Knight wound up in the prison proper. You are aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Knight's cell for a little visit. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage, and there he hid as he was wheeled to one of the prison workshops.
It figures she was going to bring up Mr. Saint going to Knight's cell.
Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of the security camera footage, we decided to take a look at it ourselves. Perhaps you would like to see what we found. This is a still from the footage we received.
Mr. Saint speaking with Knight at his cell.
Correct. You will also note that he has positioned the cage in such a way as to obscure the camera's view. It is this blind spot that Mr. Knight exploited in order to enter the cage undetected. A sound deduction based on what can be observed, wouldn't you say?
A blind spot, which means the camera wouldn't have been able to capture the moment Knight entered the cage, if he did at all. So it's still possible that he didn't actually leave his cell at this point.
I don't get it. Why would Mr. Knight want to hide in the cage? There is really only one possibility. He intended to escape. A prison break! That's so cool! Mr. Carcerato, Mr. Knight, everybody's doing it. I have to step up my game.
Okay, now is really not the time. Mr. Carcerato's escape is no laughing matter.
It is my belief that Mr. Saint helped Mr. Knight with his escape attempt. That is to say, he was his accomplice. Wow, go Simeon.
That wasn't a compliment!
I understand that the cage was briefly taken to one of the workshops. I imagine that had things gone to plan, Mr. Knight would have remained in the cage until after the show, and then removed from the premises along with the rest of the circus's equipment. Unfortunately for Mr. Knight, Mr. Saint had other ideas. He killed his friend in cold blood.
Judge Gavel's argument seems reasonable, but there must be a fault in her logic somewhere, and I'm going to find it.